The 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is presented by BTL Foundation, CBM Insurance, Delaware Heating and Air, DSM Commercial, and HFM Advisors.
We welcome you back to the 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic as we get ready for Game 7 of 9 this weekend with Baltimore Polytech getting set to take on Ursuline here from the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. Backcourt side, Mike Corey along with Barnett Harris. Pretty good game here today in this one on the girls' side. This should be a close one. You got the perennial power, Ursuline in Delaware taking on Baltimore Polytech. It'll be a fun one.
Absolutely. Two very good teams, two very well-coached teams. I'm expecting a tough, hard-fought battle, and I'm really excited for the game.
St. George's just knocked off Polytech on the boys' side in our previous game. We've got this one here with Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech. And then later tonight, Odessa and Middletown, Salesianum and Sanford closes out the weekend tournament at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
So far, the entire tournament has been incredible. I'm anticipating another strong game to continue this wonderful weekend and 2 games to finish out the amazing weekend and the amazing basketball tournament, the 7th annual SL24 Classic.
Head coach for Baltimore Polytech Institute is Kendall Peace. And for Ursuline, as they introduce their starting 5, John Noonan, the head coach for Ursuline. As we get set for the start of this one, our officials, Adam Gines with Vincent Johnson and Anthony Horton here from the Chase Fieldhouse. And the reason why we're here this weekend to help support the SL24 Foundation to educate, assist, and support high school and college students battling depression. Remember the ways to donate, unlockthelight.com/donate. You could text Classic 7 to 53555 or scan this QR code with your phone. Silent auction, the online auction going on right now as well. Don't forget to check that out. GiveButter.com/SL24 Classic 7. We've got an autographed Jalen Carter Eagles jersey, sideline tickets to the 2024-25 Villanova men's basketball home games. We've got gift baskets, we've got gift cards, trips, island vacation packages from around the Caribbean, prom packages, swag bags, and a lot more. Once again, over 80 auction items on the online auction page, givebutter.com/SL24 Classic 7. And we'll have this going on through the rest of the night. And some great items, great chance to win some gifts there.
Absolutely, and we're in Eagles country. Imagine having the Jalen Carter jersey for your Super Bowl party.
Right? We're ready for this one here with Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech Institute. Ursuline is in white and underway here in Game 7. 9 games this weekend for the 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic as Baltimore Polytech has it here first.
Baltimore Polytech is a strong women's team in the state of Maryland. I'm pretty sure defending Maryland state champions going up against the defending state champions in Delaware. A perennial power, well coached by John Noonan and Ursuline Academy. I anticipate a really hard-fought game as Ursuline gets off to the hard start with O'Hara going for 2. A lot of good passes, well-coached two teams. I think this is going to be a fundamentally sound game.
2-0 start for Ursuline, and on the run, it's Gigi Banks, doesn't go. Offensive rebound, falling down with it here was Nia Murphy, and it's going to go over to Baltimore Polytech.
One thing to be note of is who can keep their turnovers down. I think the team that limits their turnovers will be the team that will be able to get the victory here.
Rebound here for Ursuline, Catherine Lang.
Ursuline off to the pace, pushing it, trying to control the tempo.
Aaliyah Austin clears it out here for Baltimore Polytech, just underway in this game, 2-0. Ursuline leads it. Brianna Pope.
Out of bounds off of Ursuline. Catherine Lang couldn't hold it in. Baltimore Polytech takes it out of bounds.
And on the jumper, good for 2 is Aaliyah Austin.
I'm going to be looking for what Banks does. Banks is top 100 player in the country, really strong. Division has played at Ursuline since her 8th grade year. I think Ursuline's going to go at the beat of her drum.
Talking about number 3 in white, she controls it at the top of the key. Puts up the 3, doesn't go. Rebound by London Elliott. And a nice feed up the court here for Smothers as she scores the 2. And Baltimore Poly leads at 4-2.
Getting some tempo themselves. Get a good rebound, saw you had an outlet ahead, threw it, and executed it.
Sinai Johnson wearing number 2 for Ursuline. Over to Banks. Back to Johnson. That's a 3 ball, and that's good.
One thing I'll be eager to see, Mike, is, you know, they're playing on a court with a G League line. I wonder to see how many times they're going to take threes from that G League line instead of the high school line, and whether that has an impact in the game.
That's a good point. Another nice feed inside. London Elliott scores it again. Here's Banks, as you said it. Barnett, nice floating runner for 2.
Just all around good game. Play defense, can control the offense, can shoot off the dribble, can shoot off the pass. Just an all around really strong player, and only a sophomore.
Pope. And it's going the other way here to Ursuline with 4:42 to play in this first half. Early substitution. Danira Tarver is in. Banks only a sophomore, Barnett. That's the thing, right? I remember going through some of these players in the lineup from last year when you converted over to this year to think, boy, they were that good, and they were freshmen, they were sophomores. There's a few seniors on this team here for John Noonan's Ursuline squad, but some really talented underclassmen.
Absolutely, and that's one thing I've noticed about the past 2 days of the games. There's such strong talent, strong young talent as Banks takes a hop. There's such young talent. Freshmen and sophomores over the last 2 days have been so impressive to me in the several games we've seen so far.
Joshua Obiera for St. George's on the boys' side that we just saw in the previous game. A junior, definitely playing Division I college basketball when his high school career is done. Got above the rim how many times in that last game?
At least 3, I think 4.
Yeah.
And then his running mate, Jaden Reed, also is a high flyer. A lot of high flyers. That's the kind of the ball I like as a former retired high flyer.
That's right. Yeah, retired high flyer. Rod Griffin's got a really good squad there. He's produced a lot of great talent from St. George's as well.
Absolutely. He does the most with what he has, and he's a really strong and fundamentally sound coach, and he teaches them to play the right way.
Banks trying to feed it down to Murphy, who wasn't quite ready for it, as they still hang on to an early 1-point lead here. We're halfway through the first quarter of action. Baltimore Poly here with a jumper on the way by London Elliott, not there. Quickly on the run, here's Banks.
Banks going coast to coast with a strong take. A quick first step, dribble, beat the entire Baltimore Polytech team to the layup.
9-6, Ursuline, 3-point advantage. Now for 3 in the tie, not there by Smothers. Banks again, look at that crossover to the hole for 2.
These Polytech teams will have to figure out how to stop her before it gets out of hand too early.
Already 3 baskets for her, and then getting to the hole and an easy drive there was Danira Tarver.
They needed that. Ursuline was starting to steal the momentum. They needed to calm that. They needed to see a bucket go in to try to get your defensive set up.
On the top for three, off the mark is Murphy, quickly running the other way, and on the fast break, missing on the shot was Brianna Pope. The follow does not count. Foul on the floor as Smothers had gotten the offensive rebound and she got hit.
Strong offensive rebound. I would have liked to see Banks run back on the defensive side there. She was the closest other Ursuline, and it maybe didn't lead to her teammate getting a foul. Got to play both ways on the court.
Quick and bounce pass, and the shot off the window is good here by Sydney Jones. And Baltimore Poly gets within one. It's 11-10 here as we come up on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Switching the defense up a little bit to try and stop Ursuline's ability to get to the rim, playing a little bit of a soft matchup zone, but that is not enough to stop Sinai Johnson as she drives through the soft zone and scores.
13-10 now is the score. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And you said it, Barnett, a really good back and forth game so far. Turnover, though, by Baltimore Poly. They got a defender back without Banks. Feeds it back. No good on the first attempt, and the follow, and there's going to be a foul as it was initially Johnson. And then a good job there by Murphy. Let's see if they call this on Ursuline. Or, excuse me, who they call it on here, as it was Murphy going to the free throw line for Ursuline. She's fouled right there. Sydney Jones. 5 different players have scored for Baltimore Polytech here as Ursuline leads it by 3. But you said it, it's been Gigi Banks that is kind of leading the charge. That's the sophomore, number 3 in white.
Murphy goes 0 for 2 from the line. Yes, they're going to go at the beat of her drum. She's passing the ball. She's scoring when she sees her open pockets. She's a really all-around, really strong player.
And a nice dish inside, and then high arcing shot that hit the top of the backboard by Darren Moore. No good. Ursuline the other way. Here's Banks. Well, stutter step in a step back 3. That's an air ball, but rebounded by her teammate. Jasmine Butler there with the basket. Minute to go here in the first quarter. Missing on the jumper there for Baltimore Polytech. Banks, nice pass up the floor, finding the streaking Sinai Johnson.
She has the vision. She has the vision. She led her teammate to an easy layup, didn't have to take a dribble. Really well-rounded player. But if I'm Baltimore Polytech, when I'm shooting, someone's breaking back so they don't get a chance to have these breakaway layups.
That's a nice shot there from Sinai Robinson for Baltimore Polytech on a 3-pointer on the deal. It's a 4-point game and a turnover by Ursuline with 28.8 seconds to go.
Every time Ursuline, as Baltimore Polytech takes a 30-second timeout, Coach Peace, every time Ursuline seems to snatch a little bit of momentum, Baltimore Polytech comes down, settles it, gets a good shot to kind of calm and smooth things down. And then not only did they just get a 3, but they had a quick turnover.
Yep.
And I think that's what Coach Peace is going to preach in our huddle. Hey, let's settle down. Let's get to our sets. It's a 4-point game. Let's play our game. We're doing this by committee. I suspect that she's drawing up one of her go-to sets that has worked all season long and is going to try to execute it, maybe hold for one, and try to get the last shot to not allow Ursuline to try to score with for another chance in this quarter.
Another great way to get involved here and help the cause for the SL24 Foundation is also with the merchandise. We've got short and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, beach towels, tumblers, magnets, and much more on sale here at the Fieldhouse and online at unlockthelight.com. As we near the end of this first quarter with 15 seconds to go, and the jumper there by Baltimore Polytech doesn't go by Smothers. And an offensive rebound, a foul is called, and 2 shots coming here with just 10.5 seconds to go. You see
Really strong by Elliott to not give up after the missed shot, to stay up, put a little pressure, and it led to a steal and drawing the foul on Gigi Banks.
London Elliott is at the line here for Baltimore Polytech and close it to a 2-point game. And she does. 10.5 to go here. Final possession, you'd think, of this first quarter for Ursuline.
Whatever Gigi Banks wants to do.
There she is. 3 seconds. Puts it up and in. You called it, Barnett. It was Gigi Banks, and right at the buzzer for Ursuline to end the first quarter.
I think that was too easy for Baltimore Polytech. I think off the high screen, I would have forced a trap. Force her to make one of her other teammates score. Force them to defeat you. Make someone other than Gigi Banks beat you this game.
Timeout. We'll be back. Start of the second quarter when we return after this. Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech. You're watching the 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic.
Partnerships built on relationships. That's our motto at CBM Insurance, and those words guide everything we do. We provide the best possible service experience because our focus is on the relationship first. When you join CBM, you join a team with an average of 20 years in the insurance industry, long-standing relationships with our carrier partners, and deep roots in our community. We stand ready to be your trusted partner and insurance advisor.
It's brutal, so slow.
Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito?
Don't worry about me. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. And at Jersey Mike's, the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost forgot. I found your ball.
It's a rock.
Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
The 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is presented by Jersey Mike's, Platinum Dining Group, St. Mark's High School, and the Cicero family.
Welcome back inside the Chase Fieldhouse here in Wilmington, Delaware, as we get set for the start of the second quarter. Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech. Mike Corey, Barnett Harris, 19-15. Ursuline leads it by 4. They have the ball here to start the second quarter. Missy Marazzo joins us now here, the social media manager for the SL24 Foundation. Has been doing awesome work promoting this tournament, all the things that SL24 is doing. Great to see you. How are you?
Great to see you. Good. Thanks for having me.
You're doing a great job. I mean, this is a huge part of it, right? Is the outreach, is getting the word out. You're in this newly formed position here now, which, again, you've done a really remarkable job at, because it's all about the support and getting people to understand what this foundation is doing, especially this weekend. Talk to us about how it's been for you when you first came on up until this point and everything that you've been doing.
Yeah, it's been really awesome. I've been with Chantal since 2022. I was up here. So coming into this position and having like a new platform to be able to share our mission is so cool, especially since I've been with the foundation so long. I know everything about it. I know everyone there. And it's just so great to be able to share our message in this new way.
Now tell me how you have utilized social media to try to get out the message of mental health, and what has, I'm somewhat tapped in with social media, but being in the weeds of social media, how has this new aspect of mental health, how's the reception been, and how are the youth taking it?
It's been really good. I think what I've realized is people love to hear other people's stories, and it's so great to be able to tell other people's stories. Like, when you see a face to something, it really means something, and it means a lot more than just a static image or something like that. So being able to tell people's stories, I think, has been really impactful to youth, because someone can see someone saying something and they'll be like, oh, I feel like that, and now I know that it's okay because someone else has opened up about it. So when people are able to like share their stories online, I think that helps people open up about it.
And plus, we have so many young people involved in this tournament here this weekend with all the teams and the message, as we talked about. It's not just a basketball game. We're here through basketball to help educate, assist, and support these high school and college students battling depression. And you probably recognized it and witnessed it even earlier this week, right? When we had media day, when all the students and players were here as well, and just some of the stories and how much this does mean to them. And that's got to feel good because of the message that you're getting out there.
Yeah, it feels so great, and it's so great to meet all the players and hear their stories and know that this is having a real impact on them, and then being able to meet them before and be in the tournament and all of those things. It's just so great to see that we're really making a real impact.
You've been promoting this a lot here throughout the week, and of course today and this weekend with the tournament, all the different ways to get involved, with the ways to donate, the online auction, the merchandise. How's it all going so far? What's the update? What are we feeling like here?
Yeah, it's honestly going really well. We've been able to sell a lot of tickets. We've had a lot of great buzz on social media. The auction is doing great. I encourage everyone to check that out if you haven't already.
Yep.
But everything on social media has been so great, and we've had a lot of good content of the students out there, and that's just been getting such great reach because we're able to tell these student stories and promote it in that way, which is awesome.
Did you bid on the Jalen Carter jersey?
I did not, but I should. There's also some Eagles tickets that you can bid on.
There you go.
Yeah.
19 all here in this game with Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech. Really good one here in the second quarter early on. Gigi Banks has it for Ursuline. Elizabeth Songold back to Banks. Look at that crossover move again. Barnett taking it to the hole for another two.
She's really strong, and just like that crossover, how do you cross over and make all these reels and TikToks and other, social media videos? How do you keep up with the new trends, which seem to be ever changing?
It turns out that being chronically online actually is really helping me in this position and knowing what trends are going on. And being able to take those trends and make it mental health related is so much fun. Every time I see something, I'm like, okay, how can I relate this to Sean's house? And it's just a really fun practice to be able to do that, and I'm so grateful that I can have fun with it. And mental health doesn't always have to be this dark, scary thing. It can be something that it can be a casual conversation, and that's what I'm trying to do with these things. Just get it to be a normal conversation, and when it's something fun like that, it really helps that.
There's so many different things that you need to really talk about here as Banks hits another shot. She's got 12 points here to lead Ursuline. That's a three, make it 13 points here for her now. Not only about the tournament and all that's happening and the ways to get involved and donate, but what is Sean's house doing? How do you come in and get help at Sean's house? What are some of the events circling around that as well? Sean's rooms, even the volleyball tournament coming up in the summer. There's so many different things that I think you got to get out there and that people need to understand and know about. So it's been helpful.
Yeah, it's so great to be able to promote Sean's house too, and to get the message out in a completely different way, and also to be so close to a college campus and have that audience is so great. And these tournaments and the volleyball tournament, getting different audience is just so great.
Got an update on the silent auction here. The Carter jersey is up to $450 right now.
Okay.
And the adult-only vacations to Barbados and Antigua, only $400 right now. So that's nothing. You got to get on that, right? I mean, it's $1,000 just to fly down there probably at this point. So let's get going with these vacations here, folks.
Absolutely. Yep. So much is up and available.
Yep.
You want to get that still, a year's tuition at St. Mark's. I don't have children right now, but I know education is quite expensive. So you're going to pay it anyway. You might as well throw it for a good cause.
Right, exactly. Messi Marazzo joins us here, the social media manager for the SL24 Foundation. And since your involvement over the last 2 or 3 years now, how has this grown? What have you seen? I mean, we're not just talking the monetary advancements that the people are donating, which should be another great weekend here. What else with the people and the amount of young adults that have been affected? What else are you seeing?
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, we have Sean's rooms now, so we've expanded to 4 locations, which is so awesome. We're able to spread our message in a whole different way, and our team is growing as well. As we grow, there's been a more need for more of us, and it's so great to see this team grow and have so many opportunities to spread our message out there.
I feel like we got a really good team of people, right?
Yeah, we do.
That are involved in Sean's house and the entire SL24 Foundation, and also people that have come back to help out year after year, right?
Yeah, it's so awesome. It just really shows the community that this organization is built when people drive 5 hours just to be here for the weekend.
to close it out here with you for a moment, when you visit unlockthelight.com, it's got all the info on there, right? All the ways to donate, the links here to the stream, to find out how you can get involved in the auction, the merchandise, and much more. Anything else that people need to know?
No, I just think everyone should say thank you for supporting Sean's House and SL24. We're so thankful for everyone.
All right, Missy, keep it up. Thanks for all the great work this week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Missy Marazzo with us from the SL24 Foundation. Done a really good job of promoting this tournament, and you know they need someone like her, right, who's now on board with this day after day, because you know how big social media is, especially with the young students, right? They've got to see it multiple times, so then it finally starts to take root where they can go in and get some help.
Absolutely, and like she said, being chronically online, she's doing a wonderful job. She's staying into, she's meeting the young people where they're at, what's going on, what's popular, and she's making it mental health related. She's doing it in an amazing way, and in producing and putting out incredible content that's powerful, and effective. So she's such a great contribution to the SL24 Foundation is doing, and she's a young person herself. So being this young and being this wonderful and skilled and crafty, and you know, having that ingenuity, it's wonderful to see.
5th team foul here this quarter for Ursuline, so free throws are coming here for Baltimore Polytech with Brianna Pope, who was at the line. It was a 19-all game. Ursuline's on a 10-2 run now, 10-3, with 3 minutes and 37 seconds to play in this first half. Olivia O'Hara is back in for Butler for Ursuline. Pope hits both free throws.
This Polytech team is really sound at the free throw line. They don't miss many free throws at all.
Well, especially Pope. She's been outstanding, 6 for 6 so far here in this first half for number 10. Banks tried to force it inside, got it intercepted. London Elliott the other way. Back down to Pope, and then inside to get the bucket, and all of a sudden, Baltimore Polytech here within 4, 6 in a row.
Baltimore Polytech on their own 6-0 run to cut the lead to 4.
That's the first field goal by Brianna Pope after the 6 free throws that she has. She's got 8 points here, 8 of the 25. We're under 3 minutes to go in the first half.
We call that an effective scorer.
Yeah.
Knows how to get the ball in the hoop.
Thanks. She's got that great move going inside Barnett to kind of sidestep to get by the defender.
Yeah, and she's really quick with that step. And so they're kind of, you know, a second too late, and it's leading them to the reaches and leading to the foul. She's really effective with it.
How about the way that she kind of cradles the ball there, almost like a running back, like holding on to the football, right? Then that right arm that kind of just slithers in front of the defender, but not allowing them to knock it out of her hands.
It's really crafty. It's really crafty. I know she has practiced that probably thousands of times to try to master it so she can get it back into her hand to score at the right angle. It's a really crafty play, and it's been used a couple times. She couldn't convert at the free throw line, but it's been used a couple times, and it's been pretty effective today.
Baltimore Polytech, that pass got knocked out of bounds by Ursuline. They'll inbound underneath their own basket with 2:32 to go in the first half here, down by 4. Elliott to put it in. Oh, nice feed right inside, and a foul's called as Aaliyah Austin got hit, and will head to the line and try to make it a 2-point game here. First half of action in game number 7 of 9 today, the 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Talked about the reason we're here in honor of Sean Locke, the St. Mark's graduate, University of Delaware graduate, former Division I basketball player, alongside of this guy to my right, Barnett Harris from UD. Sean lost his battle with depression on July 18th, 2018. And the mission of SL24, to educate, assist, and support high school and college students battling depression. Funds raised this weekend going to help the foundation and provide the valuable resources at Sean's house, including the peer SL24 program. We'll talk more about that as the day continues. And also the Sean's Rooms, located at St. Mark's High School, Salesianum School, the Warehouse in Wilmington, Delaware, and soon to be St. George's High School as well. Here's how you can donate. GiveButter.com/SL24 Classic 7. You can scan the QR code with your phone. You can also text Classic 7 to 53555. Foul underneath the basket here.
Foul on Murphy with a little push in the back. Polytech has a chance to cut it to 1. And for all the viewers, if you want to put numbers to the realization of how much the support has meant. In the first year, we've raised over $200,000. The second year, over $230,000. In the third year, over $250,000. In the fourth year, over $400,000. In the fourth year, over $400,000. In the fifth year, over $500,000. And in the sixth year, over $600,000. That's over $2.2 million raised to support the foundation and this community, giving back to help treat young people battling with anxiety, depression, and other mental illnesses. 100% of the funds raised goes back to the community as Baltimore Polytech not only converts both at the line, but then causes a turnover with a chance to take the lead with 1 minute and 37 seconds left. So the support is just so impactful and real, and it's just amazing what has been done in the last 7 years.
We'll have the total for you this weekend between the third and fourth quarter of Game 9, the Sally's Sanford game at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight, right here on the live stream of the 7th Annual SL24 Basketball Classic. We'll talk to the co-founder, Chris Locke, as well. As we have 1 minute, 20 seconds to go in this first half here. If you're Banks' teammates too, right, Barnett? You got to be aware and ready for the ball at all times, because she's got her head up and able to make plays like that on her own, but also find her teammates. And you've seen it. You've seen it a few times where they haven't been ready for it, and there's been a few turnovers, but nice shot for her that time.
Absolutely, and they have to be ready, and that just goes to the chemistry, knowing that she might not be looking at you, but she sees you,
right,
and she sees the whole floor, so you always have to be ready.
Like right here on the fast break, the no-look pass to her teammate for 2 to Sinai Johnson.
And just like that, it goes from a 1-point game to a 5-point game, and it seems like Ursuline is taking the momentum into halftime. If I'm Polytech, I'm going to a set that I know to try and see the ball go through the hoop.
We'll save that highlight here from this tournament. What a great pass from Banks, and the no luck for the easy 2. 33-28, Baltimore Polytech. Jumper on the way and good. Brianna Pope. And she's got 10 points here in this first half, 10 of their 30, 15 seconds to go. 10 of the 31, excuse me, and it's a 2-point game. And another feed inside, Banks, this time getting it to Olivia O'Hara, and she got fouled, so she'll head to the line for 2.
Like you said, Mike, be ready at all times. Olivia O'Hara is ready, and she was able to draw the foul.
6.6 seconds to go. O'Hara is at the line here for Ursuline. Yeah, it actually is 33-30. That's what I thought. A 2-pointer there at Pope. And now with 3 seconds to go from half court. Good if it goes. And that's the end of the first half. So Ursuline with a 33-30 lead over Baltimore Polytech. Really good game here in Game 7.
Hard fought first half. If I'm Ursuline, I'm continuing to run through Gigi Banks. If I'm Polytech, I'm continuing to do this by committee, but make someone other than Gigi Banks beat you.
Stay with us. Our continuing coverage continues of the 7th Annual SL24 Basketball Classic from Wilmington, Delaware.
It's brutal. So slow.
Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito?
Don't worry about me. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. And at Jersey Mike's, the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost forgot. I found your ball.
It's a rock.
Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Partnerships built on relationships. That's our motto at CBM Insurance, and those words guide everything we do. We provide the best possible service experience because our focus is on the relationship first. When you join CBM, you join a team with an average of 20 years in the insurance industry, long-standing relationships with our carrier partners, and deep roots in our community. We stand ready to be your trusted partner and insurance advisor.
We're here with the co-founder of the SL24 Foundation, Chris Locke. Always great to see you, my friend.
Michael, welcome back to Newark.
Thank
Always
you.
good to have you here.
Thank you so much. We've been talking so much over the years about this foundation, but how does the community assist SL24? Let's start there.
It's really tremendous because, you know, we could not do this basketball tournament, the volleyball tournament, the 5K that we do without our corporate sponsors, but also the individual sponsors, the people who write us the $50 checks, as well as the corporations that write a larger check. And it's really awe-inspiring for all of us to have so many people be part of this. This is a huge undertaking doing this tournament, and to run Sean's house and to run the Sean's rooms. And we can't do it without the community. And it's, you know, it can be someone dropping off something at the front door on their way to work on a Monday morning, and we open up the door at 8 o'clock and there it is. So the community has really put their arms around us and say, hey, we're here for you, and we're here to support your mission. And it's just been a tremendous honor to be the recipient of so much love and support from the community.
Then we've talked about that before, where Sean's house, I mean, water, coffee, drinks, you know, anything to help, because it's a great place to come in and just do that and talk to someone, have a coffee, whatever it may be. So there's that, not just the monetary, right? And there's 4 or 5, 6 different events and things that happen throughout the year. You mentioned the basketball, the volleyball. What about the 5K, the golf tournament? What about all those things too?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the amazing thing. A lot of these things, the 5K, the golf tournament, even the volleyball tournament, grew organically. It was certain individuals, a group of individuals say, hey, we want to be part of Sean's team. We want to be part of SL24 team, and we want to do this. And, you know, what's so amazing is not only the monetary support that we receive, but the volunteers, the people who volunteer their time, who takes out a Sunday morning or a Saturday night and say, yeah, we want to be part of this, you know, particular event, and we want to support. And that's unbelievable. You know, I mean, we'll have at the basketball tournament, we'll have over 250 volunteers. 250 volunteers. And when we put that call out, it was filled up within 4 days. You know, that just speaks to our heart that, wow, they really believe in what we're doing.
And see, that's why this is so important, because sometimes it's hard for the parents to have those conversations. And it's even harder for the person to accept what they're saying. Like, oh, it's my mom, it's my dad, it's my friend. You don't always listen, unfortunately, sometimes to those people, right? You need other people to help out. That's the beauty of Sean's house, and now these Sean's rooms, too, at the school.
The Sean's rooms are huge. You know, we've just opened up our 3rd. We're opening up our 4th in February at St. George's Votech. We already have plans for a 5th one in September of this year. So those Sean's rooms are really critical because maybe a kid can't get to Sean's house, but they can just walk down the hallway and speak to somebody at Sean's room. And that's a huge benefit for those schools to have, and for we have one at Teen Warehouse in Wilmington, and you know, to make sure those kids can come in and talk to somebody. And that's another part of that mission of assisting, you know, creating a place and have it on their terms to talk to someone when they're ready to talk to them. Because that's really what it is, you know. It takes 11 years for someone who's dealing with depression, anxiety, to verbalize it. So if we can cut that in half, if we can cut that by 2/3, well, now that person's not suffering in silence like Sean did all those years. And they can then have that conversation, and then let's get them on the path to be healthy. You may have to live with the disease for the rest of your life, but at least you're on the path to get healthy.
After July 18th, 2018, and the worst possible thing any parent could have, losing a child, why did you and your family and team come together and get this feeling of we've got to do something? Others, you know, face this situation, unfortunately, and it's the worst thing, and they're down and out. Somehow, some way, you didn't get down and out, and it wasn't even that long after that you started this whole entire foundation. How did you get this bolt of energy to say, of the worst thing that happened in your life, to be like, no, I'm going to turn this into a positive?
You always have a good question. I don't really know, to be perfectly honest. You know, so many people came up to us after Sean died and said, God, if Sean could do this, any of the kids are vulnerable to it. And that kind of resonated, that rang in my ear, you know. And Sean always had a bolt of energy, you know. And I think it was just hearing people, hearing their despair of Sean's death, but also hearing their fear that maybe their own kid could go down the same path. And I think that's when, and Sean was this kid who had this tremendous amount of energy. You know, I have on my bureau in my bedroom, I have pictures of all my kids, and I have this particular picture of Sean, and he's dressed up in a suit. It's one of his first days he was going to go to work after he graduated. And I look at it every morning, and I just kind of give him a nod. I said, okay, Sean, another day, another day. And that's kind of where that comes from. It just comes from, I think, father's love for his son and that son's love for his father. So I just do another day.
Well, let's keep going. Let's keep doing it, and keep trying to see that this doesn't continue to happen to anyone else out there. And thanks for all that you've done.
Michael, thank you, and thank you for always being part of this. And the digital team, they're this amazing group. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Who will he grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So, he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
It's brutal. So slow.
Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito?
Don't worry about me. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. And at Jersey Mike's, the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost forgot. I found your ball.
It's a rock.
where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
People hurt. We're human. We're all wounded. The only ones who aren't wounded are babies. They're innocent. Innocent comes from the Latin innocens, which means without wound. But the rest of us, we've been hurt. We've had experiences along the way where you're with somebody and you have concern because the way they're talking seems to indicate that they're not well, that they're not happy with who they are or what's happening in their life, and they may possibly be indicating that they don't want to be around, that maybe it'd be better if they weren't here. If you find yourself in that situation, you don't let them go. You take their hand and say, listen to me, I hear you, I'm present, I'm listening. Don't take their suffering, their pain lightly. Let them know that you want to be there for them and see them to the next step, which means, yes, you need to connect them with somebody who knows how to take their hand from your hand and guide them beyond this moment. They are indicating to you something because they trust you. And you need to let them know that what you need to do for them is out of concern, is out of your goodness. If we make a mistake, if we are overreacting, so be it. They'll still be here. I'll make it clear, if somebody speaks to you and uses the S word, that is such a huge flag. That's the big one. Do not let them go. You must see them through to someone else that can make a difference for them.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Who will he grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So, he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
The 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by BPG Sports, High Five Hospitality and Buffalo Wild Wings, iHeartRadio, Kevin and Marion Healy, and Mark and Pat Siegel.
Welcome back to the Chase Fieldhouse, Wilmington, Delaware, getting set for the start of the second half here with Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech. Mike Corey, Barnett Harris. Let's get to some highlights here, Barnett. First of the first half, tell you how we got to this point. It's been pretty impressive basketball on both sides.
Absolutely, and it starts with Gigi Banks of Ursuline Academy. She's getting at all three levels, scoring, passing, and her defense. She is the beat that they follow. And on the flip side, Polytech is doing it by committee, but led by the second court power, 6 free throws and 2 shots.
Brianna Pope. She's been leading them in the second quarter to get them within 3 points after they went out to a second quarter 10-0 run. Baltimore Polytech in that first quarter, 15 total points by 6 different players and just 2 free throws. They were 2 for 2 from the line. The second quarter, 15 total points, only 2 baskets by Brianna Pope, but she was 10 for 10 from the free throw line as the team went 10 for 10 before their first miss. Overall, 11 for 12. And as you said, Brianna Pope with 14 points leads the way for Baltimore Polytech, and Ursuline's Gigi Banks has 18 points that leads all scorers in this game, and the second half is underway. And we are joined by Kat Locke-Jones, the co-founder of the SL24 Foundation here. Always great to see you, and what another awesome weekend. We're here in day 2. How's everything going from your perspective?
Oh man, absolutely loving it. I mean, just having the students here, having the magic here at the field house is truly, truly, truly special.
What a start to this weekend, and I keep referencing when I look back into it, and we were promoting what's going on, when I see the number 7 in front of this event, the 7th annual. What's going through your mind as you think about how many years we've been doing this now and how successful it's been?
I mean, obviously there is a ton of success with this classic and with, this basketball moment, but every time I see the number 7, I'm always reminded this is 7 years without Sean. And while this is a moment with students and something that we can't take for granted, I'm just so happy that I get to hear their stories and get to connect with them, whether it's in the locker room or on the court.
And I echo your sentiment, but to your credit and to your family's credit, what y'all have done from its inception to where it is now has been nothing short of remarkable and amazing. And this basketball tournament always just fills my spirit because, throughout the year I think about Sean and all the sad points about his passing, but here it's just all about the love and, support and all the good memories. So, credit to your family for turning an unbelievable tragedy into something so remarkable and beautiful that has, kind of cultivated into this amazing thing in this community.
There's this idea of taking pain and putting it into purpose, but something that I'm really proud about SL24 is taking that pain to purpose to policy and really making sure that we can change the narrative around mental health. And while there's moments that can be just very tough or difficult to swallow, moments sitting next to one of my brother's best friends, Barnett, and former teammate, and getting to be here with you, Mike, that really brings me back to it.
I think what you were alluding to, too, is the fact that when you want to see something done and you guys have put some things in place, it's gotten done, right? I mean, the Sean's house was first and foremost. I know it was a big thing that you guys wanted to do. You turned his former house into that safe haven for young students and college students, 14 to 24, come in anytime, day or night, and it's thriving, right? I mean, 33,000 visitors, over 70,000 people have been educated by the programs. So not only to get behind that, but then to say, okay, now we're going to put these rooms in different schools across the state. And I'm sure that takes a little bit of time and legwork to figure out and everyone to get on board with and whatever policies have to be in place there. And you've gotten it done. I mean, there's going to be 4 of them now pretty soon. So, what's that feel like to put something into action and get it done and see it come to fruition?
It's very much Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And I think that is where we were with Sean's Rooms. We wanted to make it accessible to students who couldn't go to Newark, Delaware, 136 West Main, but they could still have a brave space. And we're really purposeful about that language. It's not just a safe space. It's a brave space where students can be themselves.
Now let's talk about this here for a moment, because you're the Baltimore City Teacher of the Year as well as Maryland Teacher of the Year, and congratulations on all the work that you're doing. You have 4 children, you work hard, you're teaching other students, okay? You're working on this amazing foundation, and then now we have Baltimore Polytech Institute here in this game today, and I heard you have a connection with one of the athletes as well. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So Poly definitely has a special place in my heart. I teach 7th grade at Hampstead Hill Academy, and a lot of my former students attend Poly, and one of them is playing right now, Danara Tarver, number 3. She is an all-star, and when we think about lighthouses, her and her family, I get to work with her father. They're lighthouses for me.
Gigi Banks in the basket for Ursuline. That puts them up by 6. Baltimore Poly's right in it, though. You were talking about Danira Tarver, number 3 for Baltimore Polytech, as we see Banks here on the basket. But that's it, too. That's another thing, right? The connections that you have with all these different players, and to bring a team from outside the state, I thought was great as well. They want to be here. I mean, they really enjoy this tournament. It's not just, hey, we're coming to play a basketball game. No, this means a lot more than that, and it's cool to see everyone gather together.
And it's really a full circle moment. I remember talking to Danara, who's a big basketball player, about my brother Sean and losing him, and being vulnerable with her and sharing that story. And now here I am watching her play and represent what that vulnerability as a superpower really looks like. Couldn't be prouder of her, but couldn't be prouder of both students, both schools, and all of the girls here today who are really being champions for mental health.
What do you see as kind of the next steps in educating the communities about mental health? How does SL24 plan to kind of lead this charge in the future, considering all the things that we just talked about? What's next?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is making sure that schools are properly funded and that they have access to mental health professionals. That's number 1. And the second thing is, I think we hear this phrase a lot, safe space, but having a safe space for a student is the bare minimum. It needs to be a brave space. It needs to be opportunities where their voices are heard. And what I like to think about it is this idea of windows, mirrors, and sliding glass doors. Students should be able to see out, see perspectives, see resources, what the next step is, but they should also have a classroom that's a mirror where they can see themselves. And really great schools, really great resources are sliding glass doors where they can do both, and I think that's what Sean's house and Sean's room really is.
I agree. And what do you see as in the next 365 days? Are there certain types of events, or are there certain aspirations that you envision for SL24 that you hope that they can capture in 2025?
Yeah, if you're listening to this live stream and you're a teacher, something that we are really proud of is our partnership with the Kevin Love Fund, which is a completely free SEL curriculum that you can use in your classrooms starting Monday morning. And I think that's something that when teachers hear free and they hear curriculum, they're like, oh, I'm not sure this is the best of the best. It's made by teachers, and it's the idea that you model your vulnerability, and then students are able to process it through building a playlist, making a collage, doing art, and they can express those feelings. Mental health isn't just about getting over the emotion. It's not about never having bad feelings, but it's knowing how to process it in a safe and respectful way.
Another thing is also to be able to recognize it a little bit too, right? Or if someone is experiencing some things that you probably now are like all over, right? I mean, it might not take that much for you to kind of understand, see, or process what maybe some of your students or people, friends that might be dealing with, because there's so many more signs now that I guess you have put into your memory bank to like, oh, wait a minute, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely signs, you know, things like noticing a student or a friend or a loved one not being interested in things that they're usually interested, talking about things like maybe they feel like they're a burden. But there's also the mask that we always wear, and making sure that we're checking in on our strong friends or the people we wouldn't expect or do not look like what someone might think is the face of depression, and giving them that space as well.
I thought Barnett made a good point earlier. You talk about trying to reach out to people you haven't talked to in a while, or you know that you were really close with, whatever, because you don't know what's been going on over the last maybe year, 2 years, right, in someone's life. I mean, there's a lot that changes monthly, but if it's been a while since you've connected, who knows, what that person may or may not be going through.
Absolutely, and I try to implement it in my life, but I've also had people that have been there for me. Before Kat had children, she would actually hang out with me, and I could go up and hang out with her and her husband Nick. on a Friday or on a Saturday. I
Yeah.
could say, hey, I'm coming up. I had a long week. Can I come hang out with you and eat crab cakes?
Barnett.
They would do that. And now
She
they have
knows
children.
You were doing fine. She's trying to
Yeah.
help those.
Our couch is always open to Barnett. He's just upset he doesn't get a king
Looking
size
for
bed
free
anymore.
food, you know.
Always,
okay, that's
always,
all there. Yeah. Catlock Jones is with us here, the co-founder of the SL24 Foundation. As you're watching game number 7 of 9 with Ursuline and Baltimore Polytech, 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Baltimore Polytech right in this thing here. They've closed it to an 8-point game. And, you know, as we continue on here, we've talked about the ways to donate, the online auction, the merchandise. Barnett had went through the years of giving and what we've gotten to. Over $600,000 last year. I can't wait to see the total this year. I know it's tracking pretty darn well. 9 presenting sponsors this year.
Wow,
Up
unbelievable.
from 5 last year. It shows
Yeah.
the support of everyone in this community. I think it's pretty admirable.
We always say just one more dollar, but really it's one conversation. If this changes one student's lives, then it is worth it.
London Elliott on the runner here for Baltimore Poly. It is now a 5-point game. We've got 2:25 to go in the third. Banks is fouled. They'll call it on Tarver, who you've been talking about, Kat, who's out there, number 3.
She's an aggressive player, but she's a confident player, and that's
Yeah.
what we like to see here. I mean, the basketball this weekend has truly been unbelievable. I was not the most skilled basketball player for the Locke family. I'm more of what you would call personality hire on the basketball court. So maybe Barnett can come and teach my kids a few moves.
I might be able to do that.
Yeah, Macklin scoring his first basket today at his
Oh.
basketball game.
That's cool.
Yeah, we love to see it.
Butler had just scored on the offensive end. She gets the rebound on the defensive end for Ursuline. Gigi Banks is now on the run. At that nasty crossover and puts it in off the window for 2. What a player. Just a sophomore for Ursuline has made it 47-38.
Just very crafty, all around, can score at all 3 phases. Just a really, really skilled basketball player.
25 points now for her to lead the team in scoring, and coming back for 3 is Elliott for Baltimore Poly. It's a 6-point game.
This Poly team is really impressive. There's no quitting them. Every time Ursuline gets up, gets the momentum, they steal it right back.
They don't call us Charm City for nothing, baby.
As Banks goes in and is fouled here for Ursuline. Kat, final message on what people need to know, or something else that you want to make sure that you get out there as we continue on this weekend to help raise money for the SL24 Foundation.
I think this is a great opportunity. If there was a teacher in your life who was a lighthouse for you, send them a text message. Thank your lighthouses. It's not just something that happens accidental. These people care about you. You have adults that are rooting for you.
Thanks for all your great work. We appreciate it.
Always
a lot of
pleasure. Thanks
basketball
for
still to
having me
come
on
this
here.
weekend here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to closing this out strong.
And you'll make sure to keep Barnett in line?
I will.
Okay,
and,
great.
And Barnett, there is food up there for you, so you're all good for that.
And you know,
then-
the couch is always ready, baby.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys for
Kat,
having me. Appreciate you.
Thanks for everything. We'll see you
always,
soon.
Always.
Thank you, Kat.
Catlock Jones with us here, the SL24 Foundation. As you're watching game 7 of 9, Ursuline's up 48-41. Barnett closing in on 1 minute to go in the third. What do you have here?
I have Baltimore Polytech just trying to stay in it. Try not to let this league get too far ahead. And as they get a strong 2 points, maybe try to get a stop or cause a turnover before the end of this quarter.
Well, look out. It's going to be a technical foul called here on Tarver. She was coming up the court trying to defend Gigi Banks, and then that's a tall task after the basket was scored by Elliott for Baltimore Poly. And then the foul on Tarver, then she had a little bit of words there at the end for Gigi Banks. We got to bring Kat back in now because this is your girl. It's heated. They want this one. I mean, this is going up against a great team here in the state of Delaware, right? I mean,
Of course they do. They came all the way, drove up 95, battle of 95 for sure, but I think there's more than that that's on the line because you're not just playing basketball, you're representing more than that.
Well, they're going to call a double foul. Okay, so they called it on both Tarver and Banks. And so they each have 3 personal fouls here. And it's 58 seconds to go. And I like this because it keeps order, right? I mean, what this is all about is safety of the player, control of the game. You went both ways with it. That's fine. And we get back to action here with a 5-point Ursuline lead.
Absolutely. Just the competitive juices flowing really into the game. 2 competitive teams, 2 competitive players. Just, refs want to settle things down before it gets a little out of hand. You got a long quarter to go. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. They just want to, like you said, get some order and calm things down.
Reason we're here to help raise money for the SL24 Foundation. Once again, visit unlockthelight.com/donate. The way to get involved, anything that you can contribute helps the cause. givebutter.com/SL24Classic7. Another address to go to, along with texting Classic7 to 53555. You can scan the QR code with your phone. You've got that. You've got the online auction, the merchandise here that's on sale as well online at unlockthelight.com. And we're helping the foundation to have its best year ever here in year number 7. Already $2.2 million brought in the first 6 years. And we can't wait to see what it's going to be like here at the end of this weekend. All your donations, all the support goes directly to help fund Sean's house, the SL24 Foundation, and Sean's rooms that have been newly created as well throughout the state of Delaware. And we thank you for all of your support this entire weekend. (48-43), Ursuline with the 5-point lead. The double fouls were called here. Tarver and Banks. They're still trying to sort it out. Talk to both coaches. Banks has been incredible with 26 points and just so tough to stop, Barnett. I mean, you said it earlier. It's like you can't just have one player on it. You got to pick her up and you got to help her out.
Absolutely. She scores at all 3 phases. And she just knows how to control the game. She knows how to go at her own pace. She knows how to pick her pop. She'll pick when she wants to be aggressive. She'll pass when she doesn't want to be aggressive. She knows how to get her teammates involved. She's just an all-around scorer, all-around really good basketball player, and she'll play defense.
Polytech's 3, Denara Tarver. And that'll be her 4th personal foul.
Of course, I show up when it gets confusing.
Yeah, so here's what we got. Hold on. So
Right.
Jimmy Smith's
The
back
Corey
with us.
brothers
Here
are
for a
going to.
minute. You're going to give me the headset. I'm going to let
Oh,
Brian.
okay,
He's
gotcha.
just going to tell us exactly what's going on. So my brother Brian Corey is doing an awesome job here this weekend. He's been on the PA. He's been working with us here on courtside with stats. The official just came over. Brian, what's the official word here? What happened?
So we have a player control foul on Gigi Banks, her 3rd. But we also have a technical foul, dead ball foul on Denira Tarvers. That's her 3rd total foul, her 1st technical foul, so she's got 3. But because we have a technical foul, Gigi Banks is going to shoot the technical foul for Ursuline. Thanks.
All right, there you go. Thank you. That's perfect explanation. So, I thought that's what we had initially. I saw the immediate technical foul on Tarver, so that's why we got the free throws here for Banks, and those have been converted. Our producer of the event, Jimmy Smith, here with us, back on the air, the SL24 Foundation. What's up?
I just saw an opportunity to hop on, you know, while we were all waiting. Figured I'd come entertain everybody, but then we got it all figured out. And Brian told us what happened, and we're squared away.
We're ready to rock. All right, so it's Ursuline ball after the technical and the 2 free throws. 50-43. Banks trying to go inside, got deflected out. It's going to be last touch by Ursuline and Jazz Butler.
I had a chance to see Gigi this summer at it's a exposure event. She was with her EYBL team at Run for Roses in Louisville. Holy cow, is she a player. I had a chance to talk to her about being the next Elena Deladon, something she's ready to put on and represent Delaware.
How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ursuline graduate herself.
That's right.
John Noonan knows that because he coached her. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, he has had some of the all-time greats here.
Different style player,
Yeah.
of course, but understanding that she could represent the entire state and put it on the map. She was playing with some Philly players. You know, it's kind of a regional team, but representing Delaware.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly high praise, but because of her ability at such a young age is why we're kind of referencing that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's only a sophomore.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means that was the summer of her freshman year.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, what a shot here from London Elliott for Baltimore Poly. That's a 3, and it cuts it down to a 4-point game.
This Poly team just knows how to stay in the game. They know when they need a score, and they seem to, in all 3 quarters, have gotten that score.
Well, we're going to come back with what should be an exciting 4th quarter here when we return after this. It's Ursuline 50, Baltimore Poly 46. You're watching the 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic from Wilmington, Delaware.
It's brutal. So slow.
Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito?
Don't worry about me. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. And at Jersey Mike's, the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost forgot. I found your ball.
It's a rock.
Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
The 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by Marticelli Restaurant Group, Matt Haley Trust, Nemours, TKO Hospitality, and by Warren & Taylor.
All right, here we go. 4th quarter, everyone, from the Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. Mike Corey, Barnett Harris, and our producer Jimmy Smith with us here. 3-man crew as we get going with 8 minutes on the clock of the 4th.
I'm just here to save your voice, man. What a day. You had a game yesterday in St. Louis, and you're calling the rest of the night here. I'm just here to save you.
Well, thank you. We're working on it. Hook out. Gigi Banks on her way to the hole for another 2. And she has 28 points, make it 30 points on that basket, 52-46.
That's a tournament high, and you know what, or classic high this year, and a heck of a player.
Gets the rebound off the miss from Elliott and into the front court. No look pass again into her cutting teammate, Nia Murphy, who will head to the line for 2.
Barnett, I think it's GG takeover time. What do you think?
I think so. I think she's going to try to will this team to a victory. Polytech keeps creeping back in it, and I think she's trying to assert Ursuline to take over and spread this lead out.
Ursuline probably plays a lot of games where it's understood they're winning at this point. The game's probably in hand, and this is a different gear. And so kind of spinning their tires a little bit early, and then Gigi's like, nope, we're taking this. As Polly has hung around, and she's like, no, this is our game to win. This is our state.
Right. I mean, what were you just showing me? Baltimore Poly, number 5 in the city of Baltimore.
In the city, right. And Ursuline 4th in the state. So this one had a good matchup written all over it, and here we are.
Just underway in the 4th quarter here. The ball is on the deck, and a traveling violation is going to be Ursuline possession.
Also the first time we've had a team from this distance in this event. Kennett, who played earlier, that is technically out of state, just over the border.
Right.
But Baltimore is further away. So, you know, it's good to see teams come in, play high caliber games like this, and also get exposed to SL24 and Sean's house and what it's all about.
Another no-look pass inside. She does it again and finds Butler for the 2. Not just 30 points. You're going to find out how many assists she has in this game, too, as well.
She knows she can see the court. Even if she's not looking at you, she sees you.
There it is.
Right to the floor pass. And that's going to be a traveling violation. Tough spot there where it was caught by Johnson.
But again, Gigi, eyes up, not a selfish player. And there it goes to give her team a really good look.
Yeah, she was wondering there.
I don't know. I don't love it.
They've went up by 10 before a couple of times here in this game, Barnett. the Baltimore Polys come back.
They need a bucket here.
That's what it looks like.
And they get one by Smothers, a big three. They need to get another stop and try to get another, just chip away. There's a lot of time left. 6 minutes is a long time.
Banks, though, on a runner, and she gets it to go again.
Left-handed, goes either way, either hand. It's Gigi o'clock.
She can score all three phases.
Yeah, see if she can hold onto this one.
Picks it up again, trying to run the break here. Banks.
Oh, my.
Behind the back. And they're going to say it's out of bounds off of Ursuline, but Coach Noonan's like, hey, my player got pushed and fell down. That was Johnson where the pass was intended for.
Good steal on that side of the court. Gigi spins away. Extra step into the lane behind the back pass. And then, yeah, ball is beyond her. She's not going to get it, but she did get pushed.
On the runner for Baltimore Poly, that's Taryn Moore. It doesn't go. Ursuline the other way here with 5.5 to go in this game. Banks and looking underneath for Johnson.
Yeah, that's a
double dribble, yeah.
So seeing that player is one thing. Making that pass as a sophomore is another.
Wonder where she's going to go to college.
Sounds like pick of the litter. I mean,
Yeah.
she can go wherever she'd like to go. I know when I saw her in the summer, it's an EYBL, it's an exposure event, it's a recruiting event, and there were a lot of people there to see that.
How was she doing against some really upscale competition, if you will? Not to say that it's not here, but when you go up against all-star teams, if you will,
Yeah.
what was it like?
I mean,
What did you
I didn't spend a ton of time. That event has 100 courts, and we're covering, I was part of the media team for that event. We're covering a lot of things, but the game we saw, she can play bigger, but she's also on a team with a lot of other star players.
Right.
But
right.
plays a really specific role. This role right here, handling the ball, distribution, not a huge scorer in the games that I saw, but the assist side of the game we're seeing today is definitely where she shined over the summer.
Gotcha. There's a jumper from the outside. Doesn't go for Catherine Lang. Baltimore Poly, the rebound, and down by 9 points. Nice little dish inside. The 2 is scored by Brianna Pope, and she's had a strong game for them.
She has. She's been doing it on both sides of the floor, has gotten some good stops on defense, has really made her mark at the free throw line, has executed that extremely well, and she's gotten layups. She's played a large role in keeping them in this game.
Good job there, switching from right hand to left hand, underhand pass right into the lane. And Coach Peace saying, hey, we didn't drive all this way to give up in the fourth quarter.
58-51, Ursuline by 7 points. Mike Corey, Barnett Harris, our producer Jimmy Smith here with us on the SL24 Foundation and our 7th annual tournament. We just heard from Kat Locke-Jones, the co-founder, along with her father, Chris Locke, who we'll catch up with later. There's just so many things that this organization has done, and we were talking to her about, where they put their mind to something and they get it done. It was like Sean's house, okay, that's something that's hardly ever, I really have to do the research on it, but really has never been done, I would think, and they got it done. All these rooms in the area high schools, pretty impressive. I'm sure there's some red tape to go through that. They get it done, and it's only expanding and improving. It's like, what's next?
They is the key part of that sentence. They. It's a community. It's a group of people. It's a board that all is working in one direction, the same direction, that understands what this is about. There's so many incredible people there up in that mezzanine that are just coming together and celebrating everything they've done over the last year, coming together to create this event and create the opportunities to save lives.
Baltimore Polytech possession here. Once again, ways to donate on the screen that you're watching. Visit unlockthelight.com/donate. Text Classic 7 to 53555. You can scan the QR code with your phone. Any amount, any donation helps. Going to the SL24 Foundation and also Sean's house, Sean's rooms, helping to educate, assist, and support high school and college students battling depression. The reason why we're here this entire weekend. Watching some really good basketball here too. It's through basketball where we're helping those needing support with their mental health and the SL24 Foundation.
Shout out to Trevor Cooney, who's put this event on. He's kind of managed the basketball side of things, the competition side of things. You know, also a very good player here in the state of Delaware, went on to Syracuse. He's kind of been tasked with making sure this is a competitive event, runs well from a basketball side of things. You know, friend of Sean's, board member, a guy who has been integral in this event. Came up with the idea of hey, let's use basketball to have these uncomfortable conversations and expose people to these things. And as you can tell, 7 years in, it's working.
Barnett, Sean passes away in July of 2018. The first tournament's in February of 2019.
Absolutely amazing. It was incredible how, and the first tournament was an incredible event. It was an incredible evening, raised over $200,000. I was just so moved by that event. It was incredible, and yes, Trevor has done an amazing job. A Sanford legend, a Syracuse legend, went to 2 Final Fours at Syracuse, 1,000-point scorer at Syracuse, nearly a 40% three-point shooter. I don't know if he still got it, but like
yeah.
At one point he shot it at a high clip.
I'll tell you what, when everybody leaves later, I want to see that matchup.
Look out, here's a steal, Polytech, and the basket is scored by Darren Moore. And we are at a 3-point game with just under 3 minutes remaining. Gigi Banks can't get it to go, and the rebound here by Moore. And did she step out of bounds on the sideline or call a timeout? They got a timeout. And so they saved the possession. And they'll talk it over here with 2:46 to go.
Interesting to see what the offense looks like with 2:46 to go. It looks like Gigi's just got head down, heading to the basket. How else can she distribute the ball? They're trying to get it to her, so that steal, I think Baltimore Poly's aware of that. And so they're jumping passing lanes and making things happen right there to make it a single possession.
At this point, they have the ball, so we'll see what happens on the offensive end. Talk about that for a moment, Barnett. But then what about on the defensive end to try to neutralize Banks in the late stages of this game?
I liked when they had that soft 3-2 zone, and it was kind of like a man, but kind of like a zone. Force Gigi Banks to either run like a screen and trap off of the screen, or force her to have to trust her teammates to win this game or to keep this lead away. I'm not sure going man-to-man or woman-to-woman is the best thing for them to do, because she's just too skilled, and one defender, it has not been enough.
32 points for Banks in this game for Ursuline as they lead it by 3. 19 for Brianna Pope for Baltimore Poly. And then also London Elliott has 12 second half points, number 2 for Baltimore Poly as well. So interesting to see what they want to do here coming out of this timeout down by 3.
Absolutely. I think they go to one of their sets that the team is really comfortable with, that they've had a lot of success with, and I think that's their best bet and best angle to get a surefire score.
Every possession right now, they've all mattered, but they matter even more right now. 2:46 in a single possession game.
Smothers gets it in here over to Elliott. Now it's Moore, and in the corner for 3, it's Smothers for the tie, not there. Fight for it, and there's going to be a foul as Ursuline, oh no, they say it was out of bounds off of her leg. So Baltimore Poly retains possession.
Let's see it.
Oh, she was out, yeah, before she got hit.
That's our crew, guys. Great work up there.
Almost a steal. That is out of bounds, and that's off of Baltimore Poly this time, off of Elliott.
We have allowed some physical play these last few possessions.
Yes.
The refs are going to try to swallow the whistle towards the end of this game, I see.
Look at the replay work we have on this crew tonight. Excellent storytelling, boys and girls.
Ursuline possession here. They are leading by 3. Just over 2 minutes to go. Banks running the offense. A step back. That's a 3. It's no good. It's a long rebound. Poly's got it. More up the court. Darren Moore takes it in. Traveling violation.
Ooh. Some interesting calls here.
Yeah.
Yeah, those tough out of bounds calls. I think a hesitation type of feel. I see it. I'm also trying to stay on time here with this event, so maybe we can keep the whistles to ourselves.
We are back on schedule, actually.
Yes. It's been an adventure throughout the day, but we are back on right now as we have two more huge matchups tonight. Odessa, Middletown. That one is going to be a scrap and a half. And then the nightcap, Sally, Sanford, always. This place is full, electric, loud. A lot of cool things happen. Before that game, Chris will speak and they'll reveal the numbers. That one is just such a spectacle.
I know we got North Carolina Duke today, which always delivers, but I would think Sally's and Sanford also always delivers too at the state of Delaware, doesn't it?
It does. We have a future Blue Hen from Sanford at the University of Delaware commit, my former team. So I am really excited. And Salesiano has a Rutgers University football commit, Robbie Johnson, son of Robbie Johnson Sr., another University of Delaware alumni. So it's a lot of really athletic players, a lot of skilled players.
Look at this pass here coming up the court for Ursuline. There's going to be a foul on Polytech with Alexis Smothers, who went right into Butler that time, and she gets a little bit of help up. Well-designed play here from in the backcourt. Look at this pass.
Yeah, somebody who hasn't really handled the ball in a while. Head up court. A little streak route for the Madden players out there.
It's a possession foul here, not a shooting foul. Banks, that's tough. Tried to go inside to Butler, and I don't know if you really need that right now when you're up 3. You can kind of bring it out and say, okay, we control the clock here a little bit, and they threw it away.
Yeah, it looks like the wrist she favors there, and then also into her back as she got fouled. And I guess Gigi thought she sealed and could make the pass and just hit it high.
She stays in. Baltimore Poly's got it here. They throw it away. Intercepted, and it's Butler. She's going to take it the other way, and Butler converts.
That was a really big turnover right there. Polytech really didn't need that turnover, and Ursuline really needed that turnover because they converted that one.
Huge interception in the bucket, and back the other way, it's Elliott, and that's going to be an offensive foul. So here's Butler, who took a huge hit, right? Then gets the bucket herself, and then just takes a charge.
I'm not sure she was still.
That's pretty still to me, my friend.
I think she was moving.
Well, when she got hit, she's moving. Yeah, of course.
Those good camera folks we have showed the right angles.
Proved you wrong.
You're in no hurry now after Ursuline. You got a 5-point lead here. 1:10 to go. Banks. That's a 3-ball. Don't need it. Rebound Polytech.
Use that Delaware no shot clock thing. Kill the time.
Here's a 3, and that's off the back rim. Banks with the rebound, and she's going to be fouled.
This kid just makes things happen. Offensive glass, defensive glass. Moving the ball around, making things happen. Playmaker, scorer, defender. Best in the state.
That's the 4th team foul, so one more, and Ursuline will be shooting free throws, but there's 55.2 seconds to go.
I think that is the 5th personal foul on Tarver.
That's her 5th. She is disqualified.
Yeah, you got it, Barnett. That's it for Tarver. And then she had picked up that technical, unfortunately, so that added up, and now it's her 5th, and she's done for the afternoon here. But Baltimore Poly, they're not done yet. 55.2 seconds to go. Let's see what happens. Here's Banks.
If you're Poly, you got to start to think about when you want to start fouling.
Get the ball out of her hand. Double, right? Get in her face sooner.
Banks puts up a 3, and it's no good. And the rebound by Elliott, as she was fouled by Ursuline.
No shot clock. I don't know if I love that shot.
Go to the basket, right? I mean, if you're trying to score, go to the basket and create a foul opportunity. Listen, not an analyst. I'm pretending right now.
No, you're doing a good job, but I don't even know why you would need to try to go and
put
score.
up any
just
shot, right?
Pass it around and get fouled. Because here's a three for Baltimore Polytech, and it's in and out. He almost got it to go down with Smothers. That would have changed things. And now, with 20 seconds to go, Ursuline's lead is 5.
You got to start to think about fouling now.
I think that time is past. I think that's game.
Yeah, I think we're just going to play this one out.
Yep, Banks has it. Great job here by Ursuline to hang on in this one. They had a fight from Baltimore Poly. There's no doubt about it. And the clock's going to expire. That will not count. And Ursuline wins it 60-55.
I'm not sure why they didn't foul. A 5-point game, 2 possessions. This game wasn't over with 20 seconds left.
Not at all. But Ursuline challenged for the first time in my memory here at the Classic, and it's good to see what they're all about. Gigi Banks having fun, putting on a show. 32 points. You can dance on the court.
Excellent performance by her. Jimmy, good to see you again. We'll keep it going, pal. Let's do it. We got 2 more to go.
Unbelievable 2 games. Let's bring this home. Cap off an incredible night, incredible week for a great cause.
For our producer, Jimmy Smith, for Barnett Harris, I'm Mike Corey. That's all for this one. We will be back with more at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, with Odessa and Middletown on the boys' side, followed up by Sally's and Sanford to close out the night. Donate to the SL24 Foundation, visiting unlockalight.com/donate. Thank you for all your support here, and we'll be back with more of the 7th annual SL24 Basketball Classic after this.